for us to graduate.
Got it.
So like it's just literally their fault.
Yeah.
So I was like, why am I coming here if I can't graduate in 4 years? As random as it sounds. And I went to Boulder my whole freshman year, like just like I like it there. Had no intention of transferring. Visited my best guy friend from high school. He goes here.
Trying this one more time with sound. It has been 4,109 days since the Washington Huskies football team was victorious over Oregon, and that is what you call a sound check. Well, one more time for the 2014-2015 season, at least one more time from inside Delane County Ice Center. My name is Isaac Rosenthal. I'm joined by Dylan Lee, and we're all set for this last home game of the regular season. Oregon hosts Washington State, and Dylan, it was not a close game last night. Oregon won 12-4.
Yeah, we kind of knew it was not going to be a close game. Obviously, WSU having to travel to even practice, not getting a lot of time on the ice to gain that chemistry, I think is their biggest flaw. We talked last night about how they do have players that, they do show flashes of great play and great offensive awareness as well as defensive awareness. I think what it is they just don't have enough time to really gel as a team.
Absolutely, and that's so important, at this level, really at any level, just to kind of get your feet under you as a team.
Oh, absolutely.
But we saw some great goals from Washington State. Zachary Sonishin did some things that were good, and Ryan Maul had some good plays too. And they just... There wasn't enough for them in Oregon just with the scoring barrage last night. Trevor Schott had 5. How often do you say that about a player in a game?
Yep.
More surprising than Schott having 5, though, perhaps, Sam Rosenberg getting his first goal of the game, or first goal of the season, and he liked scoring his first so much that he went out and scored 3 more.
3 more in the same game.
How often do you see someone with a first goal puck
that
also says second, third, and fourth? And then along with those, Brock Burgess, Patrick Scarlotta, and Alex Selitzer each added 1 to round out the 12 for the Ducks there. If our math is right, first grade skills, Dylan, we can still get them.
Yeah, we'll get there someday, Isaac.
But we talked to Sam Rosenberg today, asked him how many goals he was going to score, and he said, well, how about 1 less than Trevor Schott? And then Schott walks over, and Rosenberg asked him how many he was going to score, and Schott said after last night, probably none.
Yeah.
So, that may not bode well for Rosenberg if his prediction holds true, but it should be a nice, good chance for the Ducks today to just get their stuff together. One last little actual competitive tune-up before Pac-8s, and then a hard week of practice, and then it all's going to start Friday night against Cal.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's good for the morale of the team to play a WSU before they get into the Pac-8, really get their confidence up and kind of see what their deeper bench can do. I know Rich Salahor likes to run every single line on that bench. It's not like they have a first line, second line, where they do, but every single player that gets on the ice does play a role for the team, and I think he's going to see exactly how far the guys on the deeper lines are willing to step up tonight, which is great for the Pac-8 tournament.
Absolutely, and this is the time when you want to get everybody involved, and you want to get goals from your Ryan Eberleys of the world. You want to get goals like we saw last night from Sam Rosenberg, as well as getting production from Trevor Schott and Alex Seltzer and all those guys who you're used to seeing score. We've got about a minute left, so Dylan and I are going to take one more quick break. We'll be back with the national anthems and then puck drop after this. Keep it tuned right here. Well, here we go one more time. We're just about ready for the lineups and the national anthem. I'll try to relay those lineups to you for the Ducks, so forgive the pauses. So for the Cougars, almost the same starting lineups that we saw last night. Ryan Buford in goal, Aaron Patel and Andrew Efrenson on defense, Zachary Shaughnessy and Ryan Mall, 2/3 of the first line. Taking Shane Barrett's place at right wing for the Cougars is Harry Gay. And for the Ducks, a very similar starting group, although also not the same as we saw yesterday. It'll be Ty Anderton in goal. So on what is senior night in earnest, the last night of the season, not a senior starting in goal for the Ducks, but the future of that goaltending unit. And then the rest of the skaters for the Ducks, it's going to be Trevor Schott, Joe Hoover, Will Daniels, Alex Selitzer, and Trevor McCarty. So no surprises there as we take a quick break for the anthems. Well, maybe not the anthem, as it looks like we may be skipping that step tonight. There is nobody in the music role, as Ty Anderson is busy getting his goaltending on tonight. So Kevin all alone down there in the announcer's booth, or the scorer's booth down there. And the opening faceoff won by the Ducks, back to Joe Hoover. Hoover moves around a man, slides the puck over to Will Daniels, who then fires it right back to Hoover, and now back to Alex Selitzer as the Ducks gain the zone. Selitzer tried to find Trevor Schott, but then he lost the puck. Kept in, though, by Will Daniels, in the long shot causes Ryan Burford to have to make a save. Ducks with the rebound, though, and they move it in front, try to pass it in front for Alex Selitzer on the tap-in, but he couldn't get to it cleanly. And now he'll have to chase all the way behind the net, gives it to Schott. Schott thought about giving it to McCarty, instead went for the cross-ice pass. And now Alex Selitzer takes it back to the point, dumped in, intercepted by Efrenson, and the Cougars break up the ice, but get in each other's way. And now once again taken and back and forth hockey there, as both teams trying to get some possession. It's going to be the Ducks establishing it, but not able to get a shot on, and Sonishin fires it forward, tried to find the stretch pass there for Harry Gay, but wasn't able to collect it cleanly. Already a minute passed in this game as the Ducks get a line change out there. Chris Campbell, Zach Foss, and Nick Shabara, the unit out there. Shabara served that suspension last night and is back there, and that's a goal as Taryn Donnelly takes a shot from the point that just bounced up there, Dylan, and it hit the goaltender, and then it hit the back of the net.
And I think that's evident of the kind of night we're gonna have, Isaac. I think he just didn't get his stick level or even top pointed towards the ice. Is kind of usually what you want to do. You want to cradle it as it comes in, and he just had it ramp up his stick into the back of the net, which is unfortunate.
And it's something we saw a couple times last night, where Burford gets about 98% of the puck and isn't able to keep it out of the net. As it stands, less than a minute and a half into this game, Taryn Donnelly has given Oregon a 1-goal lead. Puck now in the Ducks zone as a shot there is blocked. Chris McCormick tried to get one on goal. Darren Toller pokes it behind his own net. And now Chris Campbell finds Shabara. Here goes Scooby, but it's picked up by Washington State. Shabara throws his weight around a little bit. Now Chris Campbell gets on the puck. Campbell fires a shot that is sticked aside by Burford. And now back to Shabara. He's trying to move around and deke around everybody as the Ducks do get a line change. So he's out there with two people who aren't his line mates, and Pat Taylor collects this one. Sam Rosenberg, look out, the goal scorer is on the ice, Dylan.
Yeah, the heater. Sammy, 4 goals.
Oh, and Sammy assists right there. A nice feed to Patrick Scarlotta. It is 2-0 Ducks already. Dylan, going to be one of those nights. We've said it already, and I think we're getting proved right.
Get comfortable, Isaac. We're going to be here for a while.
If anyone would like to call in sick for me, I do start work at 6 a.m. It is now 10:34 p.m., and we've played less than 3 minutes.
2 goals already. This is going to be fun. What I'm interested in is WSU are going to be able to get an offensive possession and really make Ty Anderton work in that net. You know, we haven't seen him. Great way. Defensive minded for number 19, I believe that is Ryan Mall, to depossess the Ducks in the offensive zone and then get a great shot on Ty Anderton. Luckily, he got his blocker on it, tipped up into the back of the net, but...
Yeah, and you know, it can be very hard for a goaltender in situations like this when you get so little game action, or even when you're playing in a game like this, you get so little action just to stay warm. So good for Ty Anderton to pay attention there. We know Ty's a real focused guy when he wants to be. And now taken through the neutral zone, Ryan Eberle with it. Eberle tries to battle around his man. Washington State Cougar lost a stick there. And now Jesse Leonard collects it. But cleared by the Cougars back into the neutral zone, and Joe Hoover confidently moves it back to Chris Stankovic. Stankovic fired to Shabara, to Eberle there, who then went back to Joe Hoover. And Hoover now has to just curl it around the boards, and now it's sent right back to Joe Hoover. And now all the way up for Jesse Leonard. Here comes Jesse Leonard with 2 defenders. Cody Dries with it. Dries with a shot was going wide, but gloved anyway by Burford.
You know, I like that. Anything that comes even remotely close to those pipes, you want to glove that in and stop play. If, you know, it looked like it was coming out off the back of the boards there, that would have been a rebound far side, and it was pretty wide open on that other side.
It was, I think, certainly a good play there made by Burford, if for no other reason than just when you aren't maybe having the best weekend, just any save you can get, you want to get that little bit of confidence. As the Ducks take it behind the net, it's Alex Solitzer. Solitzer goes to Joe Hoover at the point, who fires one on through, and another high bounce off the netting behind the net. We saw that several times last night.
Let's see if this works out here. We got our own Carissa Corliss something. Cece, just call her Cece. I'm sure she's going into that line of work anyways.
Wow, Dylan. Pack 8 after dark.
Pack 8 nights, Isaac. Pack 8 nights. Anyways, we'll see if she
a nice move there by the Washington State Cougar, jumping off the board by his man, using the boards to guide the puck forward. Now a pass tries to get through to Alex Solitzer, and he is somehow able to retain possession. Moves it back behind the net for McCarty. One-timer scores. It's Joe Hoover making it 3-0 Ducks.
Finally found the back of the net. We saw him last night visibly frustrated every single time he didn't get it into the goal. You know, it's nice to see him in a little faux celly there at the end as he skates to the bench. But I think he's happy with that. Obviously, he's got up on the scoreboard.
We've still yet to see a celebration this year that beats Chris Campbell's against Washington, though.
We'll get the red score up there someday.
Washington State now moves the puck, and they do lose it here. Ducks try to gain forward, but it's back to the Cougars. Moving around with it is Maul, back to Sonishin. Nice pass made there, and Nick Shabara had to get in front of it. Almost a Cougar goal. Chris Campbell taps that one forward for Shabara. Shabara tries to beat 2 Cougars, but they do poke check the puck away, and he's got to go back and get it. Then he tried to get through 2 guys again, and the spread C's just closed on him there. Chris Campbell loses the puck behind the net. Washington State doing a good job of not letting Oregon get anything on this possession, although they haven't been able to get the puck out of the zone. And Zach Foss will go to chase this one down. And Chris Campbell on the one-timer from Foss, he went 5-hole there. At least it looked like he went 5-hole, and almost 5 goals, only 4 for right now.
And Chris Campbell didn't score last night either. He was trying some crazy things to try to get into the back of the net, and none of them went in, but didn't seem too happy. Chris Campbell, one of those ones who doesn't celebrate. We saw him in the last game of the I-5 Cup, kind of with an interesting celebration, a bit of a delayed one. He was, getting hugs and congratulations from his teammates, and then all of a sudden just sprinted to the bench for no reason at all. That's something I'd never seen before.
Never seen before, and Dylan, I doubt we will ever see it again, but it was something special. Sam Rosenberg with it there as he just tried to knock it forward. Rosenberg hasn't scored yet. What's going on?
I don't know. He's got to one-up himself from last night. I'm thinking 5, maybe 6. I don't know.
Sonishin pokes it forward there. That's not Sonishin, rather. That's Andrew Efrenson. You'll notice him as the giant skating the blue line for Washington State. Pat Taylor now with it for the Ducks as he moves in. He has Patrick Scarlatta and Sam Rosenberg as options and has to knock it back behind the net. Now back for Scarlatta behind the boards to Taylor. Taylor all the way to the point, and Chris Stankovic has to kind of fade away and keep it in there, but Scarlatta's going to go in the corner to get it. And now a puck disappears on the near side boards. Chris Stankovic is with it, and he throws one on net, deflected away by Efrenson, and the long rebound came to Brock Burgess, who just fired one on there. And now back to Burgess again. He'll take the shot, but it goes wide. And Stankovic tried to find Pat Taylor, but he threw it around the boards too hard. Sam Rosenberg has to go get it all the way on the other side of the ice. And now back to Taylor. Taylor with the shot that's saved by Burford, and he pounces on the rebound.
Now, interesting, Isaac. Is it Burford? I know we called him Buford quite a lot last night.
We did, and it's because apparently, Dylan, I can read only 80 or 90% of the time. And last night was in that 10 to 20%.
Okay.
There is an R in his name. It was on the same roster I had last night, and I guess I liked Buford better. But Burford is his name. So if Mama and Papa Burford have been watching, do apologize for that. There's a play made by Washington State, a nice one, and the shot ends up going high and wide, but Zachary Sonishin showed what he can do, and we've seen sort of flashes of that at times from Washington State. But now it's Jesse Leonard knocking it forward for Cody Dries. Wouldn't you like to see this line score? Ryan Eberle, the other offensive option out there, and Joe Huber and Will Daniels solid at the back. All the way to Ty Anderton, and he's just going to cover that one up. I think he wants to see a face-off closer to him. Still got a lot of folks here getting autographs from the Eugene Generals. They finished off their home season tonight with the win over Tri-City.
Can't help but feel like I'm supposed to be saying something right here, something colorful, but I've been spacing out for the past 30 seconds or so, to be quite honest.
It happens, Dylan. That happens when it's a 10 o'clock game against Washington State. Understandable. We like to keep it loose up here.
You know, the Generals, though, they did have a great game. They won, I believe, 4-1 tonight. So, 4-2, excuse me. They played really well.
And after that 7-2 loss last night, I think it felt real good for the Generals. Meanwhile, with the puck now are the Ducks as Darren Toller fires a shot from the point wide. They try to get it to Taron Donnelly, who does flip it forward, and Ryan Eberle with a deflected pass ends up back behind the net and somehow squirts in. I'm not sure who did the deed there, but it looks from the celebration like it was Ryan Eberle. We'll see who they give it to.
You know, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an own goal coming off the end of the stick of number 8 for the Cougars.
We talked about it last night. We don't feel like we've seen that.
Jesse Leonard.
They give it as an unassisted goal to Jesse Leonard, so that might very well mean he was the last Duck to touch the puck, and it was an own goal. Put in by, if it was number 8, that would be Daniel Litchfield with the unfortunate honor of being the first Cougar to score in this game. And now Washington State trying to put a goal in the right column, and they do. What a play!
Wow.
thrown in front, and where has that Washington State team been? Harry Gay just throws his stick out there and was able to deflect the puck into the net. I mean, that's good fundamental hockey.
That's great. Obviously a great offensive play, getting that center pass right into the front of the slot, right in front of Ty Anderton's crease. Even better to have that stick there to be deflected up above Ty Anderton. As we know, he is a bit of a short player, but he makes that frame work.
Oh, what a hit there. Thrown by Brock Burgess. Not something we see him do too often, but he knocked his man clear off his feet. Trevor Schott tries to chase that one down. Schott scored 5 times last night. Had a very productive series against Portland State as well. In that first game against PSU, he had a hat trick inside the first 8 minutes, scoring his first 2 goals on his first 2 shifts.
May be able to hear the Generals still celebrating that win behind us. There was fan appreciation tonight, Isaac. They got to pass out quite a few sweatshirts and T-shirts, a lot of merchandise for Generals fans, and as well as autographs at the end of the game, as we're hearing now.
Now that was materials that they passed out for the Generals fans. 4 was not the number of Generals fans.
Yeah.
Rebound there, and almost put in by Chris Campbell. Ducks can just try to make the pretty plays at this point. And Campbell there passes it to Shabara, who scores on the wraparound. And this one is getting silly already.
Definitely making Carissa work on this one. It's good. Need to be properly vetted for next year.
Making Kevin work down there in the scorer's booth, having to pull double duty on the scoring sheet as well as the scoreboard and the PA.
It's interesting as to where Bretzman is. He's usually down there, does a lot of graphics for the Ducks as well as scoreboard and music when Ty's not in there, so I'm not sure where he is.
Maybe better places to be on a Saturday night at 10 p.m.
I can only imagine.
Wonderful places. Joe Hoover with a shot there, deflected off a skate, doesn't get through, and Will Daniels has to skate backwards and flip it up for Zach Foss. Washington State collecting it here. Nick Shabar is going to jump on it with speed. Tried to pass it to the middle, but it was knocked away by a stick of a Cougar, and now back into the Duck zone. They would have been offside, so they get back onside. But it's enough time for Washington State to get possession of the puck. Joe Hoovers makes a hit there, and his stick came up a little bit high, but no harm, no foul.
I can't help but notice that looks like your roster is missing that number 4.
It is.
Zach
it's missing
Foss.
26 too. I printed out a saved copy of the roster I had before Foss and Toller were on the team.
Haven't seen anyone wear that number 4 jersey since the likes of Dan Effinger, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you're right. Unless I'm forgetting somebody as well, but Dano certainly wore that 4 for a long time. And up the ice come the Cougars. Long shot there is wide and off the boards and all the way back into the neutral zone before anybody touches it. And now intercepted by Patrick Scarlotta. Literal interception with his glove, but eventually the Cougars with the puck. And keeping it in the zone are the Cougars. It's Efrenson. Efrenson with the pass in front, but going to be knocked the length of the ice, and that will go for icing against the Ducks.
What's interesting about Patrick Scarlotta is that he is probably one of the biggest Seattle Seahawks fans that I've ever met in my entire life. Seahawks everything. I'm not sure where the kid gets the money. It's like Seahawks sheets, Seahawks socks. Patrick Scarlotta known for his sock game, always on point.
I don't have a follow-up to that one, folks.
No one does. I'm not really sure what I'm going to say until I'm actually finished and actually closed my mouth. So here we are.
Well, there is Scarlotta, noted sock aficionado. And back behind the boards there, behind the goal, we should say. Behind the boards would be an interesting way to play hockey. As Scarlotta goes for the wraparound. Rebound in front, and Pat Taylor had a chance to backhand one home. And Toller is slowly knocked down, was able to catch himself on the boards. That was an interesting hit. Ducks still trying to play that one-timer from behind the goal, and why fix what isn't broken? It's been working for them tonight. Taron Donnelly makes a pass to Pat Taylor. Taylor moving through the middle. Taylor maybe trying to go coast to coast here. And he does with the shot. Forces a rebound that Jesse Leonard gets, and Leonard tried to flip it back to Taylor, who didn't look like he was paying attention. Leonard with it behind the net now. Leonard just trying to be the stronger man as he's rushed into the boards. Nice athletic play from the referee there to jump out of the way. And Scarlotta moves it back. One-timer again. Another one from the Ducks as Chris Stankovic almost trips over his own feet there. Stankovic no longer wearing, as he called them when he was 4 years old, finger skates. Had a nice little anecdote from the Stankovic family at the Ducks parents' dinner tonight about Chris learning to skate. It was adorable.
As are all the Chris Stankovic stories.
And a shot there, and ends up hitting a Cougar defenseman, and he'll wrap it behind the net. Brock Burgess now through the neutral zone, and the Ducks will gain the zone as Burgess is collided with there. The initiator of that hit was J.D. Dunn, but I think he also took the brunt of the impact as Leonard kind of just forearmed him away. And then Dunn again is crashing hard on the net, and he thought about maybe snowing Anderton there, or looked like maybe that was a thought process, but there was a duck in between him and Anderton, and I think he would have been introduced to the ice very quickly if he had done anything.
Yeah, probably you don't want to poke the bear, Isaac. Obviously, the Ducks are...
here's McCarty to shot. The two Trevors eventually combined for the goal. I think it was poked home on a rebound from Alex Selitzer, but the Trevors set that one up, and with 5:54 remaining in the first period, the Ducks have put 7 on the board.
Yeah, 7 goals so far. Looking pretty good. There we go.
There's the 7 on both scoreboards now, or about to be on both scoreboards.
We'll get there someday, Isaac. Some way.
And indeed, they do give it to Selitzer.
Earl making his way to help Kevin, maybe.
Or just chat. Earl's got some jokes, folks. Maybe not for children, but he's got some jokes.
It was interesting last night, probably the first time I had ever seen Earl walk away
not
from
watching
the game,
a hockey
not
game,
watching
just
a hockey
meandering
game.
around the lobby. Of course, at that point, we will add the caveat that the Ducks were up by about 6 goals, as they are tonight, and we're not even 20 minutes into this hockey game. And Trevor Schott comes up the ice. Schott with Selitzer. He tries to get the pass in. And now back Taron Donnelly taps it forward, but the Ducks couldn't get there. Sonichin tries to take it in, but he's offside.
Ooh.
Was he though, Dylan?
It was close. It definitely was close. I really didn't have the angle here. It kind of disappeared in the feet of the players there as they had their back turned to us. But...
And to be fair, the blue lines here are not the bluest.
Very faint.
That they are anywhere. You kind of have to be at ice level to really appreciate how faint they are.
You know what I think it is I believe what happens, I'm not entirely sure, it's pure speculation here, is they lay the lines down and then lay the ice down. And what I thought originally what happens is you lay the lines down on the concrete and then lay a few layers of ice, paint again, and freeze over.
Did they skip that middle step?
That's what it looks like. Honestly, 100% speculation there, but... very faint.
That would be interesting to know. They did resurface this, or do a new paint job anyway this offseason, and it does look great.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Great new center ice logo, new O. And Nick Shabaro with a backhand attempt there ends up going wide, and foot there. Washington State nearly took a very needless delay of game penalty. That one was lucky to hit the top of the boards and not go straight to the netting, as number 8 for Washington State, Daniel Litchfield, was in his own zone. It's exactly what Washington State does not need to do. And both teams actually doing a great job through this first 16 minutes and 20 seconds of not taking penalties. I will jinx it because I guess I just did. But Dylan, have we seen a penalty-free period this season to your memory?
Not at all. You know, in the beginning of the season, we did see Michael Luke in there. He's not one to shy away from taking any penalties at all, or really any brawls or letting anyone know he's there at all. You know, so we've seen him in the boards quite a. Oh.
Did that one hit Stankovic in the face?
Right in the face. You know, that's why they wear
full
cages
face gears at this level, and it's always interesting watching the Eugene Generals play. Some of those guys wear full face guards. Some of them only top hat visors. I think that I'm not sure what the rule is on that, but I noticed that last night and found it very interesting.
You know what's making a comeback is kind of the half fishbowl, half cage. It's all plexiglass, but on the lower half is it looks kind of like a cage made of plexiglass. I guess the guys like it because they can have the vision of a shield with the protection of a cage, and lets them breathe better.
Oh, and the breathing is a big part, because when you have those old style full face shields that were the plexiglass, you breathe too much and they get all fogged up. With those, you have, you know, the ventilation to not have everything fog up on you, and you can still have a clear face guard rather than having to have your eyes adjust to seeing through metal, which...
You know what? Patrick Scarlotta has one of those actually on right now.
He does, and he almost had another goal there. Looks like Joe Hoover's got one of those as well. Scarlotta through the middle, he scores!
Wow. And that's not something we've seen too often from Patrick Scarlotta this year, to really dance and have the hands of someone like Trevor Schott to, you know, pull it back into the center of his body and then just put it top cheddar. That was beautiful.
We've seen plenty of goals from Scarlotta, but a lot of them are, you know, maybe finishing a one-time or poking something home on the rebound, kind of, you know, not to discount any of them, you know, because he scores plenty, but that was just, you know, a pure skill goal there, and he looked a lot like a Nick Shabara or a Trevor Schott on that play.
Jesse Leonard dancing around his own players for some odd reason.
Gotta do something to keep yourself entertained, Dylan. It's 8-1 in the first period of play. I think that Rich might be calling your and my numbers here soon.
You know what? I do have a pair of skates.
I noticed that you did bring your skates in today.
Just got them sharpened.
I
have all my gear in the
I could
car.
probably get to my apartment by the end of the first intermission.
There you go. Give me a jersey.
And here comes Dunn through the neutral zone for Washington State. He tries to get a shot on that goes behind the net. 1:13 left, and that was a large collision, or a large sounding one anyway. And Ryan Eberle gets back on side there, but still offside on the play was Cody Dries, so the Ducks had to forego possession of the puck. To the neutral zone now. Will Daniels tries to battle for it. Forgot the puck, though, and still moving for it. Squirts eventually into the zone, and now back through the neutral zone all the way into the Duck zone for Will Daniels. Less than a minute left in this period. Oregon has scored 8 times already, and it might be 8 different goal scorers. We'll have to look at the score sheet at the intermission.
Boy.
I've already lost track. I tried to keep counting them, and they've scored too many times.
We should have played this game again as we did last night, but quite a few more people getting touches on the puck tonight than there were last night. You know, we saw Trevor Schott with 5 and then Sam Rosenberg with 4. That's the majority right there.
In fairness, the Rosenberg goals did not start till the second period, so maybe he's got more in him tonight. 10 seconds left now. Washington State has a 3-on-2 if they really hurry. Time running down in the period. They force a save from Ty Anderton. But that's going to be all. 2 seconds, 1 second. That'll do it for the first period of play. After 20 minutes, Washington State trails by 7. 8-1 your score. We're going to take a quick break and inspect the score sheet, get an answer to our questions about how many goals have been. And that will do it for us for the first period. The score is 8-1. Dylan and I will take a quick break, and we will join you in a bit. Well, we've got a couple of moments left in this first intermission. The score: Oregon a lot, Washington State a little. 8-1 for those of you who want the actual facts, and we'll give you the Duck goal scorers. Taron Donnelly started it up. Patrick Scarlotta got his first of 2 goals. Then Joe Hoover scored, followed by Chris Campbell and Jesse Leonard. Then the lone Washington State goal scored by Harry Gay, and then Nick Shabara scored, followed by Alex Selitzer and Patrick Scarlotta with his second of the night. That got us to 8-1. Now we learned, Dylan, that if we get to an 8-goal differential, and I think that is exceptionally likely, we will see a running clock for the rest of the game. So let's pick up our intermission discussion right where we left it off. What is your prediction for how we're going to get there?
You know, I'm saying it's going to come quick, and it's going to come super early out of this second period. And I'm saying, oh man, who did I even say? I said Abate. Abate needs one.
You
did
know? Say Dylan Abate.
I said Dylan Abate.
Inside 30 seconds, I decided it's going to be Chris Stankovic at the minute and 12-second mark.
Exactly.
So
feeling
I'm
saucy tonight.
a little bit more clamping him on it than that.
Yep.
Just a general 30-second time frame.
Other times from our broadcast booth, possibly. I believe between 1 minute and 30 seconds and 2 minute mark.
30 and 2.
Between the 1:30 and 2, and it's coming from Patrick Scarlotta. We're looking for another one.
Finishing the hat tricks would be the third hat trick in 2 nights for the Ducks.
Let's turn while we still have some. Let's turn to the social stream here. Earl is the bomb. Obviously, everyone loves Earl, but we did get corrected. The Generals actually won 6-2, not 4-2. Sorry about that.
And that comment about music during the intermission, we are looking into that. The problem is not getting ourselves sued into oblivion.
And not even that, Isaac. Being sued wouldn't be, it'd be terrible.
It would be bad. It would be pretty bad.
What happens, I'll go ahead and explain it to you guys. On our channel, so we have we're streaming through YouTube Live right now, so that means we are a YouTube partner. Yes, we are partnered with YouTube to bring these live streams with you every single game. What happens if we have too much third-party content matched in our music, in our videos, in all our live streams, is that we actually get strikes on our channel, which means, that wouldn't be good. If we get too many strikes, they would take away our privileges to stream. And that wouldn't be good.
It's happened before, Dylan, has it not? Just from having our mics pick up PA music, as the most exciting moment of the game happens with Will Daniels jumping over a fallen cougar. We played 20 seconds here, so inside 30 seconds, not looking good, Dylan. Although
no, I was 30 seconds to 1 minute, so here we are.
And there it almost was from Trevor McCarty. Now Trevor Schott moves around his man and takes it behind the net. Schott still trying to set up, and now back to Joe Hoover. Hoover and Will Daniels nearly with the shot. Instead, he'll go behind the net. No one guessed Will Daniels. He's been known to shoot it from the point. And now it's Washington State. How about a Washington State first goal? Not with a pass like that, though.
You would have liked to see him put one on the net. He was all alone. It was him and Danny, and everyone else was trailing him. Opted for the pass, and no one was even there. So,
well, a minute and 12 seconds has passed, so we are at this point all wrong. At least the two of us on the mics. Taron Donnelly with the puck at the point. He fires it forward, deflected. Rebound is not put home. And Zach Foss with it behind the net. Foss goes all the way to Toller, and it flipped over his stick blade, and he's got to go backwards with it. Knocks it off the boards in front of the Washington State bench. Now Chris Campbell moves forward, and he goes down, and so does a Cougar. Nearly a chain reaction there.
And we're coming up on the last prediction here. I don't think we're all going to be wrong.
Well, here's Shabara with it. Shabara to Campbell, and Campbell has a Cougar run into him. Now back to Darren Toller. Toller fires it and hit the shin pad of the redwood tree there on defense for Washington State. And a backhand shot there from the Cougars forces the first save of the second period for Ty Anderton. We'll have to see if Anderton gets a whole game tonight. At the about 10-minute mark of the second period last night, we saw the Ducks with a goalie switch as there's a big collision there. Taryn Donnelly just colliding with Trevor Thal. And now it's Nick Shabara with it. Shabara trying to olay around his man. He does, and tried to flip the puck forward for Chris Campbell, but there was no finish on that one. Now Sam Rosenberg with it. Rosenberg gets around his man, kicks the puck forward to keep some sort of control of it.
Still no goal for Rosenberg yet.
And Brock Burgess with a backhand attempt there that was kind of just a clearing pass. Almost ended up with an assist for Rosenberg. Another shot from the blue line from Burgess. And now Zach Foss fires, and it has to be pounced on by Burford, who's looking better in this period so far.
Has Zach Foss got on the score sheet yet in his time with Oregon?
I do not believe he has, unless it's come during a road game.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think the only road game that we've been able to... Oh, yeah, PSU. So he could have scored PSU. That's the only game he's played where we haven't seen him.
And no goal whistled there immediately. Sam Rosenberg not happy, but the referee blew the play dead. One of those circumstances where I think the ref just lost sight of the puck and felt he had to blow it dead, and unfortunate though it may be, it is the rule.
Sometimes the refs do blow. Sometimes they blow fast and hard, but players don't like it too often. That's just the way the game goes.
Sometimes the refs do blow. Commentary from Dylan Lee. All the way back the length of the ice, Joe Hoover with the puck now, and Hoover plays it behind himself to Pat Taylor, who has to start and stop to get a Cougar out of his way. Now right past that same Cougar, and then the pass through the neutral zone goes by Rosenberg and Scarlotta. And Will Daniels fires it off the boards past Rosenberg. Karams along the back there, and that puck fired up and out of play. Everybody's okay.
Let's see if Kevin gets it to the ref tonight. Yay.
Hey!
I think last night Kevin even was a little bored, so intentionally probably throwing it over the ref's head all 25 times.
You gotta keep yourself entertained somehow.
Yeah, I think he's plenty entertained tonight, though, having to pull double duty down there, score sheet.
He looks nice and warm with that space heater in front of him.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Darren Donnelly caroms it off the boards for Rosenberg. Rosenberg fired it on goal and tried to deflect it off of Patrick Scarlotta's stick. Good look. Scarlotta Taylor! But it's into the pads of Burford, and now up ice for the Cougars as they try and go. They've got a 2-on-2 break here. Now trailing on the players, Scarlotta and Taylor, to give the Ducks a numerical advantage, and it's Taryn Donnelly with it. Donnelly the long pass for Taylor, but too long. And Taylor and company will go for a change. Washington State trying to move up ice now. Maybe a goal for the Cougars becomes getting the first goal of this period and trying to just do something positive. At this point, it's looking like maybe they can do that. And, you look for the little things there as a Cougar goes down. No penalty called. Looked like, I think we've seen that called tripping before. Not to say that it was, but that means very little. Still a penalty-free game, though.
If you do recall, one of the very first games we were calling in this season, we saw an interference play on a hit with the player with the puck. With the puck. If anything, he was on a break. I could have seen tripping or hooking, holding,
anything but interference. Literally any call but interference would have made sense there. But
yeah,
as the Cougars still trying to get it through the zone here. And now Oregon with it as they will try and get through the bodies. It's Brock Burgess going maybe the length of the ice. Burgess makes a few moves and eventually lost possession of the puck and has run hard into the boards as the rubber object squirts all the way into the neutral zone. And now Chris Stankovic with it. Stankovic still has a possibility to prove me half right and get that first goal of the period.
I'm not even sure where Abate is. Is he playing tonight?
We did see him play last night, but I don't know that I've seen the number 8 out there in white tonight. Would make your prediction very impressive if he did score.
Could you imagine? That would be amazing.
And another collision there is these aren't really hits so much as they are players just colliding with each other and the boards, and it's Cedeno Chara with it for the Cougars.
Hug it out, Isaac.
Well, the biggest man on the ice is put into the boards there by Trevor McCarty, one of those guys who plays sometimes bigger than he is. We used to see that a lot out of Eric Brody, gracing the number 11 for the Ducks. Brody would throw his size around there. Not much size, but he would certainly throw his weight around a lot. Played on teams that had habits of doing that. And now Sonichin with it. He'll try to go all the way behind the net. Extended wraparound. Shot goes high.
Man,
Cougars really could score this first goal in the period.
They could. I'm sorry.
It would be a big moral win.
I was stuck on the Brody. I can't recall exactly what everyone called him. You know, he did have a nickname that was not anywhere close to what his name was. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Anywho, back to hockey.
Any former players maybe watching want to fill us in on that? You know what to do. Here's a chance for the Cougars. 2-on-1. The shot saved Anderton. But they've looked threatening a couple times in this period. That was J.D. Dunn and thrown all the way down and icing on the play. So Ducks forced to ice the puck with 12:19 left in the middle period. Still no running clock. Still only, air quotes there, a 7-goal lead for the Ducks.
You know, it's less goals let in so far by Ty Anderton than there were last night by both goalies. Actually had one let in during their shifts, Trevor Peterson and Danny Cockrell.
And there's Selitzer, but he couldn't get the shot on and just got a little tap to it that was saved by Burford. Ducks get a line change out there now. Nick Shabara, Chris Campbell, Zach Foss, Darren Toller, and Taryn Donnelly on the ice.
When's the last time you've been able to announce every single player on the line before something has happened?
Not very often. It's the
happens.
pace of the game that's moving at tonight. A little bit lackadaisical. Nice move there, though, from 21 of the Cougars. That's Harry Gay. We've seen him score tonight, and a high bounce off of Anderton there. Puck has taken some strange bounces in this homestand. Backwards through the neutral zone go the Cougars, and Nick Shabara almost rushed up and took that one. And Chris Campbell will just carry it off the boards. Nick Shabara is going to give chase. He might win that one. He does. Nice stick handling from Shabara. Gets out to Donnelly. The shot. Rebound. Save by Burford as he had to dive on that one. He's really picked it up through 10 minutes in this period, and we will keep an eye on Ty Anderton as this is about the point we saw the goalie change last night. It was the first whistle after the 10-minute mark.
Ty having to skate wide out of his goalie to try to limber up a little bit. A lot of standing around for the Ducks goalie.
As is tradition in a Washington State game. Patrick Scarlatta with it behind the net for the Ducks. One-timer again, and visibly upset there is Pat Taylor. That's not the first time we've seen that from him in this season, or this series, rather. I think this is one of those games where everyone wants to score, and you get a good opportunity like that. You don't want to let it go to waste.
Speaking of everyone scoring, were you able to go ahead and get the names of all those goals that we have so far up on the board?
We will. We'll recap that one more time in just a moment when I can get to my phone. But here's Sonichin and Dunn in the shot from Sonichin right in.
I'm
to
sorry.
Ty Anderton.
I'm sorry, Isaac. You might have missed it. Patrick Scarlatta out there with Brock Burgess getting a little tied up. You know, maybe playing a little bit of leapfrog is what it looks like to me as they skated, drifted rather, through the neutral zone, spinning as they went. That was something magical that I've seen. I hope that was caught on camera.
Well, through the neutral zone now, Cody Dries will get out to that puck as a Cougar loses a stick. but good defense without the stick.
Oh, great defense. What a way to really control the body of the Duck
And you know
player.
what? That might lead to something good for Washington State, and it might still, as here's Sonishin. Sonishin breaking in. What a move! And he can't quite finish the play, but boy, did he start it well.
Oh, man.
It's one of the better moves we've seen in this series, and it came not producing a goal and sandwiched into the boards there, glued to them by Brock Burgess, was Ryan Dunn. J.D. Dunn, excuse me. And
Ryan
a shot
Dunn.
from Leonard there, off the mark. And now through once again into the Duck zone come the Cougars, trying to go behind the net. They do, but Leonard's going to get to it. The Duck goal scorers tonight, Taryn Donnelly, Patrick Scarlatta twice, Joe Hoover, Chris Campbell, Jesse Leonard, and Alex Solitzer. Harry Gay with the goal for Washington State. And that's 9 goals recapped real quickly here with 8:50 left in the second period of play. We have not yet reached that 8-goal differential, which we have been told will trigger a running clock. So we've been having whistles. Here is the very large number 22 for Washington State. We've been having fun with him. Andrew Efrenson makes Dylan behind me look only a little bit tall, although Dylan's still larger than Efrenson.
Yeah, you know, big people things, Isaac. I do tall people things at a tall people pace. This is my life. Come join it.
Much more vertically challenged myself, not unlike Chris McCormick of Washington State. Looks a little bit smaller than the rest of the guys on the ice. Still probably has several inches on me. And from the looks of it, about 30 pounds at least. Alex Solitzer with it now. And intercepted by Washington State. But they hold possession only very briefly as it goes back for Darren Toller. Cross-ice pass to Donnelly, intercepted in the neutral zone or kicked away by McCormick. And that pass too far out in front will not be icing, though. Solitzer pokes it for McCarty. McCarty gets it to the middle. Donnelly rips a shot, but it's saved. And back behind the goal, Ducks do keep possession. It's Donnelly, flips it back for McCarty. McCarty back to Solitzer. Solitzer makes a move and will eventually just dump it off the boards for Toller. Toller fires a shot that looked like it was deflected by Trevor's shot, but on top of things is Ryan Burford.
Looks like everybody's going in for a change here. Both teams clear the ice and let's get some fresh legs out there.
And we've had our first whistle beyond 10 minutes now, and it is still Anderton in goal, so it looks like Rich Salahor is going to give him at least 40 minutes tonight.
Still no 8-goal differential. You know, I think we were all wrong, maybe underestimating the will of WSU. Cough drops again in the final home game. Isaac Rosenthal,
Always need him. Cough drops are at least a cough button. And Stankovic with a long pass for Nick Shabara there. Shabara with the move and a shot! And deflected high behind Burford. Good to see Shabara out there after he served a suspension. Yesterday, the Ducks have scored again.
There it is.
So there's your 8-goal differential, and they'll have the clock stopped until they won't even have it stopped until the face-off, as the referee is, I think, looking to get to bed.
Yeah, they're looking to get out of here, as is the modest showing of fans that probably just are holdovers from the Eugene Generals games. You know, obviously we have some senior parents in here tonight, as well as parents that aren't parents of seniors, but always great to see those folks out. Really small showing, as it will happen at a 10:15 start.
And the announcement on the goal, it was Chris Campbell putting it in the back of the net for the Ducks. Now here comes Nick Shabara as it becomes a challenge for the Ducks to score as many goals as they can with a running clock here. Back to Campbell, who's on hat trick watch. You know, Zach Foss with it, and Foss is crunched into the boards there. little bit gingerly skating away. And another big hit thrown there on the Cougar captain. Zachary Sonishin passed too far out in front of Campbell. And Nick Shabara looks to be skating slowly to the bench there, favoring one side of his body over the other. That's not great for the Ducks. We'll have to keep an eye on Scooby for the rest of the night. And Pat Taylor with it now. Let's see if we can get Taylor a goal. Well, how about that call of a Patrick Taylor goal? He has scored. Somehow that trickled in. I'm not sure where that went in. It looked like he was going near post that was fairly well covered, and I think it broke Ryan Burford as he is just now moving. But he thought he had his ankles closed down there, and apparently not.
You know what it is? I think he left it too wide, 5-hole. Just didn't clamp those feet together as you usually want to do as a goalie to prevent that from happening. Patrick Taylor, the only one that really saw that goal go in.
The play there.
That's a pretty big hit in the back. I'm not really sure who's in the goal.
Looks like
Patrick
Scarlatta was the one that took the brunt of the collision, and you gotta maybe get at least half a goal. He crossed the red line. The puck may not have, but
doesn't look like he's any worse for the wear. It looks like he kind of took a bit of an awkward bump into the posts, but
how about that play from Brock Burgess diving to keep the puck in the zone in a 9-1 game with the running clock at almost midnight?
You know, that reminiscent of a play I saw Stephen Casey, a holdover, recent graduate of the
dropping
Oregon Ducks.
references.
Stephen Casey in Utah diving against, obviously, the last day we were there, keeping it in the offensive zone, diving at the blue line to keep it in with his
the
glove.
shot from Dries, he scores! Sorry to interrupt there, Dylan, but Cody Dries had to ram himself into the boards in celebration.
I was going a whole lot of nowhere with that story. Long story short, kept it in, and it looks cool anyways. Cody Dries, the workhorse of this team, putting up for the boys. He's pleased with himself out there. He works night in and night out, puts his all into this team, and he deserves it.
You know, Cody Dries has actually never not smiled in his life. The doctors are trying to figure out why, but he has literally never not been smiling.
One of the happiest guys I've ever met in my life.
Bit like a golden retriever, Cody Dries. 11-1, and the clock is continuing to run down. We've been making record time through this second period. Only 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the middle frame, and then they'll bring the Zam out once again, and we'll do it again 20 minutes. Brock Burgess gets there and rides Dunn into the boards. Oh, and then there's a hard collision.
It's a pileup.
And going into that collision, I guess technically one could call that a third man in, as Dunn just fell on top of two bodies. Certainly not a penalty on Dunn, but I like to make funny allusions to things and call things that they clearly aren't.
Yeah. You know, what we haven't seen tonight is, one, a ref spill. Those are always fun. And two, a ref making an obvious terrible call.
No, we've yet to see anything like an icing called on when the puck never left the neutral zone or anything like that. I think it's hard to criticize the refs in an 11-1 game, but we'll find a way. We've got 21 and a half minutes left to do so. Nice touch there from McCarty. Solitzer with it. Solitzer tried to get it through a couple legs, couldn't make it through. Here's a chance for Sonishin! And the save by Anderton, but right back to Zachary Sonishin, the Cougar captain. Now it's Efrenson. And Efrenson's shot ends up bouncing wide. And now Joe Huber with it for the Ducks as both teams have yet to take a penalty today. Good call or bad call. Trevor Schott still with it, and he scores. That's Trevor Schott in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, you knew that one was going in. Trevor Schott, he does that. You know, went through the legs of one of the Cougar defenders, and the defense made almost no move to try to push him off of the puck, he was right there, right in front of the crease to put it home.
Meanwhile, Ty Anderton's about to start skating laps. I think I got more of a workout in at the public skate today than he's gotten tonight, but a great save there from Anderton, getting both feet down. 40 seconds left in the period.
You know, we have a running clock. Are they going to opt to not even scrape the ice in between the periods to even further this? I mean, I guess we'll see, won't we?
We will see. Here's a 2-on-2, but Ducks couldn't get it together. Shabar has got to take it back to the neutral zone. And now Chris Campbell, who I believe is looking for the hat trick, with a brief touch of the puck there. Now Dunn with it. Dunn takes the shot that forces the save from Anderton. He's looked real good tonight in the little action he has had to face. That's going to do it for 2 periods of play. It is 12-1, and we will see. Half of the Ducks team is going to the locker room. The other half is staying on the bench. So we'll see if they do indeed scrape the ice.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of confusion. Maybe Patrick
The
Scarlatta.
Zam door is still down.
Well, everybody's going, so.
Well, here's Scarlatta maybe about to tell something to the announcer here.
Maybe we're not even going to play the third period.
I don't know, Dylan. I would not put anything past reality. We'll see what Kevin says. Maybe just putting a shorter intermission clock on the board, as it does look like they will be forgoing the Zamboni. That door is still down, and the Zam driver is nowhere to be seen.
Glued shut. Yes! We're never going to hear that. I think we're back, by the way. We getting some love from Eric Brody on Twitter. Never going to hear that nickname, I suppose, but keeping those deep and buried.
Getting Simpsons pictures tweeted at us from Mr. Brody.
So I suppose since we are back, I guess I did, mess up the broadcast a little bit, but it looks like we're streaming and we're all live and well. I guess we'll take a little bit of time here as we wait for this 15-minute clock to go down. Doesn't even seem to be started.
And the Zam door is open now, so maybe we will have an ice scrape.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and help our driver out there move the goals around, so I will be back.
I think that's going to be a good time for us to take a break. The score is 12-1. Don't go anywhere, because you're liable to miss the third period. If you do, we'll have a running clock when we get there. But a quick break for now. Oregon 12, Washington State 1.
What are you doing?
Back for the third period here as we're getting ourselves sorted out. It's going to be a very quick third period as we expect it will feature a running clock just as the second half of the second period did. Oregon leads 12-1 as we get started here. And a very quick whistle. Still no penalties in this game. And actually the clock was momentarily stopped, and now it's rolling again. So we'll try and get our clock. Clock is probably just going to be permanently about 40 seconds behind in this game, as I don't think we're going to have a chance to get it really that much caught up. We'll see here. I think my goal for Washington State in this period is the same goal it was in the second period. Try and just get the first goal as the puck squirts up and out of play.
19 minutes flat, Isaac, left on that clock. Just in case people were wondering, I saw on the social stream that they were kind of asking about exactly how much time was left in the game. And there you go.
And for those that don't know, which is probably most of you, the reason why our clock is always close but not really 100% is that we don't have the way to dial in an exact time. We just have to go on and off of that shot, and if we don't hit it exactly, we don't have a way to undo it and go back. So there's a technological lesson for you as the Ducks trying to teach a hockey lesson to Washington State. And Chris Stankovic fires it through, and a deflection by Ryan Eberle. Good job by Ryan there, as an even better save, though, from Burford. Too many Ryans involved on that play.
Ryan Gosling actually, I think, made an appearance.
He may have made an appearance on that
at
play.
The ice rink. Said the Oregon Ducks hockey team, his favorite hockey team in the world. Take that to the bank, Isaac. Whoa!
I heard it too, and I'm not sure how that Cougar took himself down there. Maybe caught an edge or something.
Luis Mendoza, all speed, no stop.
That shot ripped off of something and hit hard off the netting. Did it go through the netting? That sounded like it hit plastic.
You know, it hit the net so hard that it pushed everything back to that back wall, bounced off the back wall, and then came back into...
Didn't realize there was that much slack on that netting.
Neither did I.
You learn something new every day. 17:20 left. Tick-tock, tick-tock. As Trevor Schott chases this one down. And then flipped by Alex Solitzer, now shot back with it. Lost the puck, and it goes all the way down the length of the ice. Going to be chased down by Zachary Sonnerson. Makes a nice display of snow. But
and if we had fans along those boards, they would be entertained.
They would be, or maybe a camera there, as there's a collision with Dunn and Schott. And Chris Stankovic trying to put that home on the doorstep, but fell down.
Everybody's all over the ice right now. I gotta wonder what's going on.
You know, I think what it might be, they didn't really seem to let the ice set for as long as you would like after the Zamboni came around, so it is a very slick surface out there right now.
You know, they did that last period, too, as I was getting the goal from the left-hand side on your screen here. The padding in the back of the net was actually frozen to the ice, which is never really fun.
Not ideal, Dylan.
No, not ideal at all.
This one's going to go all the way back down, and Will Daniels is going to have to take it behind his own net. 16:05 left in this game, and the running clock means that I might actually get some sleep before I have to go to work in 6 hours.
Good luck.
Probably not, though. Any Pentagon Federal Credit Union members, do not call in tomorrow. I might be a zombie if you get me. Battle for it behind the net there as Chris Campbell tried to take it away, but it's taken up the ice by Washington State. Here they go with it, and eventually they'll just fire it around the boards and get a change.
Bit of a miscommunication there as the Cougars, the whole team on the bench, all four of them, yelling off for offsides. One player didn't seem to get the memo.
Oh, and Nick Shabara tried to battle through there, and he's been known to do-si-do his way through the defense, but couldn't get a shot off there. He has scored tonight, I do believe. And here's Shabara. Fires high off the, not sure if that was post or crossbar, and then it hit the netting.
That was right where the crossbar and the post intersect. He was trying to squeak that one in, Isaac.
So 14:46 officially left in this game, and the clock, once again, if you have been not paying attention, maybe turning the sound on and off of the broadcast, the clock has been running, so not your imagination that this second or third period, rather, is moving quite quickly. 14:30 now left, Oregon with an 11-goal lead. We'll see how long that lasts. Sam Rosenberg with it. Rosenberg behind the net to Scarlotta. Scarlotta back for Zach Foss, who has it knocked away from him by Dunn. Then caught by Darren Toller and cleared into the neutral zone by a Cougar. Thrown all the way back around the boards. Efrenson taps it. Pat Taylor tried the pass for Patrick Scarlotta, but not able to finish. His hat trick was Scarlotta. Rebound there taken by the Cougars, and they'll try and break up ice, and we see them maybe get into an offensive set for only about the third or fourth time tonight. All the way back with it is Sonishin. All the way back to the blue line, and then he just fired it at no one in particular, and Taryn Donnelly got his stick down in front of it. And Donnelly rips it around the boards as it just follows the contour of the end boards there. And now back for Stankovic, who fires, and it goes just wide. 13:20 left. Pat Taylor with it now. Taylor behind the net. He'll go all the way around. Still with it is Taylor. He fired it and was looking for the one-timer for Sam Rosenberg. Would have been a goal if Rosenberg had gotten his stick on that one. And
still goalless for Sam Rosenberg.
Working hard for his hat trick is Patrick Scarlotta, but not able to finish it yet. Taryn Donnelly now with it. Scarlotta will just watch him throw it into the corner, and now Donnelly goes back for a change. Rest of the Ducks not following yet. Well, now Scarlotta goes, and it's Eberle there. Eberle knocks it back for Jesse Leonard. Off to Cody Dries. Brock Burgess was tapping his stick at the point. He wants it. And now eventually it gets off to Stankovic. Stankovic tried to get it through. And Washington State able to finally get it out of the zone and now through into the Duck zone. But knocked off the puck rather quickly, and now Oregon sets up again. Jesse Leonard goes down, and sticks and skates tangled up there, but no penalties, as there has been the theme tonight. I think that the referees probably realizing that every penalty they call is that much longer this game is going to take, so they haven't called any. And frankly, there haven't been anything that was that much begging for a call. We've seen, some incidental things that we've seen called, but I think they would have been calls we would have criticized. Which really, maybe that isn't a very high threshold.
We criticize just about every single call, which, you kind of have to do as broadcaster. It's part of the fun.
It is. Especially, I think we've got a lot to criticize at this level sometimes.
Things do take some wacky turns.
And that puck intended to be cleared by Washington State, but it went right for Will Daniels, who had just hopped on the ice. Then he finds Trevor Schott. Schott with a great pass to McCarty, who forgot how to shoot the puck there. Alex Solitzer now trying to get it through to Schott, but all the way cleared by Washington State. That one going to be icing eventually, or
nope.
not.
Nope.
Not the first time we've seen one referee hold his arm, one linesman, we should say, hold his arm up, and the other two officials overturn him.
Apparently, let's get out of here is a better sentiment.
That is the mantra. Washington State trying to get goal number 2. Ties look pretty good tonight, Dylan.
He has. Obviously, pitching a better game than the two goaltenders last night, as, WSU did get 2 goals.
They got 4, actually, last night.
Well, counting has never been my strong suit. There's a reason I'm a journalism major. Math is not me.
Numbers are hard.
Not a tall person thing at all, Isaac. Not a tall people thing.
And Alex Solitzer now with it, but he had the puck sticked away from him, and through the zone again. Sonishin's going to win the race to that one. Shoots it immediately at Anderton, but right into the very confident padding of one Tyler Anderton.
Man, where's everybody else on the Cougars team been tonight? Sonishin's about the only name we've been announcing at all in the offensive zone.
And yet he doesn't have the goal. Harry Gay has the goal, but you're right, Dylan. It's been the Zachary Sonishin show for the folks in, what would we say? Is that burgundy and white? What's the official ruling on that one?
It's burgundy. Could be a maroon color. It's interesting.
Reached that point of the broadcast, folks. It's 12-1. It's late at night. There's less than 10 minutes left in the home season. And Sonishin almost with a one-timer there, but he fanned on the shot. I think that one might have gotten by Ty. Just from the positions there, but no harm, no foul, as there wasn't a shot, and now Zach Foss with it behind the net. Foss to Chris Campbell, who goes for maybe the wraparound. Now he shoots it off the side netting. Nick Shabara and Zach Foss both behind the net, but it's taken by Efrenson. Efrenson, who was but a sapling when this game started and is now a fully grown redwood tree. That pass too far out in front of number 19 for the Cougars. That's Ryan Mall. We saw Mall do some offensive things last night. And now to Campbell. Campbell along the near side. Finally gets a shot on that is in and out of the glove of Burford. And behind the net for Shabara. Shabara looking for someone to maybe pass to. He'll just stand behind the net. And now still with it is Shabara. That one maybe should have been a tripping, Dylan, but in the spirit of this game, no raised arm.
Yeah, tripping. Got to drop the puck one more time. That puck is heavy, I'm sure. You got to bend over and pick it up. These are all things I'm sure the ref was
that arm's not going to move itself in a downward sweeping motion either, as
exactly.
Terry Donnelly falls down behind the play. 8 minutes left in this one. It's getting a little goofy here. 12-1 the score. And it is Chris Stankovic with it. Stankovic still with it, and his shot does not get all the way through. Now for Rosenberg, is that it? Rebound? Possibly. Nope. Another one does not get all the way through. It's not as if the Ducks aren't throwing pucks on net here, but they haven't actually gotten a whole lot through in the period.
Hitting a lot of bodies down there. I think that's good defensive position from the Cougars, but there still are a lot of rebounds coming off of their tendy. Not a lot of play in front of the crease if I'm the Cougars. What can you do?
Well, you can throw a puck on net there. Anderton had no clue where that one was, and it had actually scored it all the way almost to the boards, and he was still looking down as if it might have been between his feet, but better for that to happen than for it to roll behind you if you're a goaltender. Flipped up forward and past Scarlotta, and now almost coming up and out of play. Referee says it came into or linesman rather says it came into the neutral zone, so Ducks have to get back on side, and they do. And McCormick flips it for the Cougars. It hits into the body of Sam Rosenberg, though. Sonishin nearly sets himself up with a break. Now they get it to Taylor, do the Ducks. Pat Taylor with it. Taylor going to take off from behind the net, passes it to Rosenberg, who couldn't get a shot off. Sonishin flips it up again for Dunn. And now they try to go back to Sonishin on the trailer play there. It was a good look, but there was a defender in front of him. And now it's Huber with it, skating laterally behind the goal. Tries to fire it up, but it hit a couple of Washington State bodies. The one-timer setup for Dunn was there, but he couldn't handle it cleanly. And the long shot from the Cougars. And now Sam Rosenberg is just going to flip it backwards through the neutral zone.
Still nothing for Rosenberg. I believe you told me as you were talking to him, he said he was going to have one less goal than shot tonight, and seems to be right so far.
Well, there's a shot from Dries right into the equipment of Burford. 5:35, tick-tock left in this game with that running clock. It is 12-1 Oregon. And that one looks like it may have stung Burford a little bit. And he's a tough cookie, as I think you have to be to play any hockey position, but goaltender certainly.
Yeah, it definitely takes a interesting spirit individual. Let's sign up and throw some hard rubber at me. I enjoy things like that. It's an interesting person.
Be careful, Dylan.
Interestingly enough, that one was not intentional.
Oh, the Cougars try to get it to the neutral zone, but it's Taryn Donnelly with it. Jesse Leonard scores! How about that?
That's 2 for Leonard.
I think that's surprise. I think the most surprised person in the building right now is Jesse Leonard, who was kind of skating for the rebound while the referee's busy pointing in the back of the net there.
And he'll go and take a seat on the bench for what could be his last shift of the night. I guess we'll see, though. It depends on how long these boys take shifts. Usually they like to say a minute if you're playing tough, 30 seconds, but they could take some long ones here.
This game could feature some long shifts. For those of you that have never seen Dylan and I standing next to each other, another goal there from Trevor Schott as this game has really lost all excitement. I think it's actually 14-1. The scoreboard in Arena, I believe, is 2 goals behind.
Yeah, didn't even get that last one up on the board yet. Kevin trying to work the score sheet, PA, and there goes a fry. And the scoreboard, but 2 goals behind.
Starting to say earlier, for those of you that may have never seen Dylan and I standing next to each other, Dylan actually spending the majority of that last shift standing directly behind me with absolutely no impairment on his view of the game as Oregon has just scored again.
That's another one. And actually, for some reason, we've reverted back to 12 on our broadcast. Should be 15-1.
So every scoreboard involved now has just lost it, and I'm beginning to wonder if perhaps this is intentional, that they're not putting them on the board.
Definitely is 15, as Kevin was behind 2 goals, and then they just put that last one in right there. So now he's behind 3 goals.
And I really am beginning to wonder if they've just decided, for the pride of Washington State, not to put those goals on the scoreboard. We'll see if maybe Kevin is just delayed, as he is having to kind of wing it down there. Our scoreboard is right, though. The time maybe not. 2:30 officially left. And it's up to Schott again. Schott again with it now for Eberle, and boy, you see that reaction from Trevor Schott after that pass. He really wants to get Ryan Eberle a goal.
And, is it, I believe him and Zach Foss could be the only goalless people on the team this season.
Well, they'll just have to put the winner in against Utah, Dylan.
Exactly. That was a creative catch there.
Yeah, Schott just kind of showing off here a little bit. Stankovic with a pass through the middle, but no one there. Less than 2 minutes left in this game. The scoreboard in Arena is 3 goals behind, and I don't think anyone cares. And Ty Anderton has something to do as the puck hits him right in the middle of the O. It's like a target on his chest there, and a bullseye from the Cougars.
At least their accuracy has been on point with that target on Ty's chest. Seems to be quite a few of those going right into the center of his pads. 15-1.
The last time you saw a 15-1 game. Other than the Generals losing 16-2.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Don't bring that up.
I was going to say that's comparable. Great shot.
And I think Anderton probably happy to get some of these shots, frankly. And we've reached the final minute here, and it will be an absolute final minute with no stoppages in play. Ducks are going to maybe try to get one more goal. It looks like they just might, as Nick Shabar is going to get to that puck first. Tries to find Campbell. Eventually he does. 43 seconds left. Campbell with it, stop, skates backwards. Puck loose in front. Still loose. Still loose. Nick Shabaro trying to stop it with his feet. Get a shooting position there. And now maybe one last chance for Washington State. As that puck is loose, Sonishin tries to get it, but it's shielded away from him by Eberle. Up ice goes Chris Campbell. Campbell fires wide of the cage. 14 seconds left. and Ryan Eberle trying to get back on the bench. I think that was definitely too many men on the Ducks there, but no reason at all to call it, and that's going to do it. So the running clock, I think, really helped there. 15-1 is your final score. It was 12-4 last night, and it's been about that kind of season, unfortunately, for Washington State. Presuming this is going to be their final game, they will finish at 0-9. Oregon, though, is not done, and we are not done. We won't be broadcasting from this booth or this house, I suppose, anymore, but we will be broadcasting with the team in Tahoe. They open up on Friday against Cal, and from then on, they have the potential. They are on the right side of the bracket to place Utah in the finals if both teams should advance through. Dylan, thoughts on this game?
Honestly, not too many thoughts. Obviously, glad we can go home. It's a bit of a slow game on all accounts, but I think it was good to get the morale and the confidence of the team up. The only thing I can see here is, we've talked about it time and time again, is the issue of getting complacent throughout the season. Complacency is easy to set in, it's quick to set in, and hard to get rid of. And I just hope we don't see that from the Ducks going in against Cal, because that will be a good game.
Yeah, and we saw earlier in the year the Ducks did split a series with Cal. They won that first game and lost the second. I'm not sure what the story was, because the first game, as I remember from following it on Twitter anyway, we didn't get the chance to go down to that one, but I seem to remember that first game being fairly easy for the Ducks, and then they lost the second one, so we'll see. I keep hypothesizing maybe there was a Duck suspended from the first game, maybe it was the opposite, maybe a Bear, or a Duck suspended from the second game, maybe there was a Bear injured or suspended in that first game. New Pac-8 tournament format this year. It's a single elimination one, and it's a lot of money to spend to go all the way out to Tahoe if you're only going to win one game, so there's going to be a lot of motivation for both teams.
Yeah, I think touching back on those first games of the season against Cal, if I recall correctly, what I was told is just penalty minutes. Penalty minutes for the Ducks, taking just not smart penalties in the third period to lose to Cal, and I think ultimately that was kind of what shot themselves in the foot and gave the game away, at least from the accounts of players that I've spoken to. So we've seen it all season. They can tend to take some penalty minutes in the wrong times. Hopefully they've got that under control.
Yeah, and I think tonight, I think that's probably the bigger takeaway than getting the 15 goals is 0 penalty minutes in a 60-minute game. Albeit the refs we're not exactly calling it tight, but it's a Ducks team, or at all, but it's a Ducks team that has had penalty struggles this year and certainly in years past. So to see them go 60 minutes without getting called for a penalty, even if the getting called for one might be deserving of more emphasis than actually not committing any, it's nice to see that they can do that and they can play clean hockey. And we'll have to see if when you add a much more intense game and you add maybe Michael Luke back into the mix next week, as we are expecting to maybe see him play. Talked to Michael yesterday. He was saying he was technically cleared to play Wednesday but didn't practice this week and just didn't really want to give it a go without having gotten some practice time underneath him. So hopefully he'll be playing in Pac-8s. It'll be good for the Ducks to have an enforcer in a big game like that. Otherwise, it looks like the team's kind of getting healthy at the right time. Unfortunately, you'd love to still have Connor McBride out there, but he won't be there. He won't be won't be playing with the team. I'm not sure if he'll be making the trip, but Ducks are putting stuff together and they're playing some pretty good puck.
Yeah, and as it does seem like we're kind of winding down here, we're hopeful for the Pac-8 tournament. Great to see that we will be able to join them in Tahoe. Always exciting. I'd just like to take this minute to go ahead and thank everyone here at the rink, as well as our broadcast crew. Kevin, already gone from the scorer's box, always a staple, always here every single home game. Would like to thank every single one of you for tuning in for these home games. Again, not done. Just a little bit of a goodbye to the rink exchange for the 2014-2015 season. Anything you'd like to say, Isaac?
Just to echo that sentiment, Dylan, and to thank you as well for all of your help, and Carissa and Liz as well for all their great work. It's been a great productive season for us, and we're looking forward to another great one next year, and hopefully a great trip down to Tahoe next week.
Yep, always hopeful. I'm excited.
Well, for Dylan Lee, one last time, my name is Isaac Rosenthal. The final score tonight was 15-1. Do not adjust your set on that one. And will not be the same duck time, will not be the same duck place, but it will be the same duck channel on Friday against Cal as the Ducks begin their hunt for the Pac-8. For Dylan Lee, I am Isaac Rosenthal. Thank you so much for listening, and have a fantastic night / early morning.
It's hard to make it.